Welcome to Co-Pilots.
That show where we normally review the first 2 episodes of a show and tell you if we think it's worth watching or not.
But this week, we've got a new destination in mind.
Exactly. This week will be a return flight, which we've mentioned quite a while back in our very first Into the Cockpit.
Can you remind me what a return flight is? I'm not sure if I'm up to the concept here.
So the return flight concept that we have going on here is that we will be reviewing a show in its entirety that we have seen before but not reviewed on the podcast.
That makes sense. So it's like something we've watched and probably enjoyed because we finished it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's you, yes.
And we're going to suggest it to everybody else to watch it because...
Yeah, and we'll talk about it a bit. We probably won't give away the entire plot because, I kind of want you guys to watch it, but we will talk about the things we enjoyed about it and why we found it enjoyable. These are really more of a show suggesting kind of format thing.
Yeah.
Because you guys suggest things to us, and, we'd like to be able to pass on that and suggest to you guys some things that we actually like instead of just things to avoid.
On that point, I would like to get to a point in the show where we're no longer randomly choosing things to watch, but
we have a giant list to pull from?
Yes, that
like we have a bit of a list now, surprisingly.
Thanks to a couple dedicated flyers.
Yes. Some frequent flyers of ours. And we've been looking at that, but some of the things they've suggested are a bit more obscure, so it's been hard to find them on easy sources without having to pay ridiculous amounts of money for something we're going to watch the first 2 episodes of. And
I just bought the entire series of a show on DVD so we can review it for an upcoming episode.
Luckily, it didn't cost too much, but
it was like $10.
It's still there, and it's not the greatest thing to do, but the show sounds worth it.
Well, we're getting sidetracked though. On this return flight, we're going to see what happens when you marry the artistic endeavors of one, Joss Whedon.
One in PH, our beloved Neil Patrick Harris.
One, Felicia Day of Geek and Sundry and related products.
And finally, my man, Nathan Fillion. Castle, The Rookie, Firefly, so many other great things.
Basically everything that's ever been good.
Yeah.
So what happens when you marry those 4 talents together
and make them sing?
And make them sing and make a web series.
Yes. So today we will be talking about Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Which actually had 3 episodes, so it falls right in the realm of our show.
And, we could have done 2, but we have seen it all before. Multiple times.
At least 3 or 4 times a year, I think.
Yeah, I legitimately watched this 2 weeks ago again.
And we just watched it again tonight.
So we could talk about it again. Even though I don't need the refresher, I love it enough to do that.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's a musical.
Yes.
We talked about the music there.
Also, it's called Sing-Along Blog.
And it doesn't actually have Joss Whedon in it. He's in a producing, writing, directing.
The role, as he normally is, in some capacity.
And for the most part, the movie has just those 3 actors. Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, and Felicia Day.
We have some minor roles in the background with really no one to name.
There's one notable actor in the background. He plays NPH's sidekick.
Yes.
Moist.
Who has gone on since then to become extremely popular in the television series The Big Bang Theory. You might recognize him as Howard Wolowitz.
His name is Simon Helberg. And he's got a few parts in the movie. He's not a big part.
Show,
yes. I always think of it as movies. I always watch it in one sitting.
Even then, it's 40-ish minutes.
So you should watch it. What is Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog about?
It's about the titular character, Dr. Horrible, who is a villain we are following as he gives us progress and updates on his time as a supervillain, aspiring supervillain, via his blog that we are apparently watching. We do see things that happen outside of this, but the framing device is the blog. We're supposedly just hearing about him talking about these events.
He's just a really vivid storyteller.
Yeah.
And
Dr. Horrible is played by
Neil Patrick Harris, and he has some of the best songs in the entire series.
He really does.
It's just incredible.
Even if you don't watch it, I think you should definitely, at the very least, check out the soundtrack, which, the soundtrack is basically the same length as the show.
It's a little shorter. It's
just a bit.
It probably clocks in at 30 minutes rather than 40.
Yeah, but 10 extra minutes to add a framing device to it isn't much of an ask, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, like you said, we're following the aspiring supervillain, Dr. Horrible, whose actual name is Billy. We don't know a first or last name for him, but his actual name...
I actually remember looking it up one time, just on Wiki stuff, and apparently some people have listed it as Billy Buddy.
Yeah, because
there's a line that's "Keep your head up, Billy Buddy."
Yeah.
But my assumption was just, buddy, like buddy as in a friendly term for a friend.
It's definitely not his last name.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thought.
So we follow the aspiring villain, Dr. Horrible, and he's trying to get into essentially it's a Justice League for supervillains.
Yes. The Villainous League of Evil. Right?
The Evil League of Evil.
Why did I say villainous?
I don't know. It's the Evil League of Evil.
Yeah. Ran by the thoroughbred of sin, Bad Horse.
He rides across the nation, the thoroughbred of sin. The songs in the show they do a really good job of telling the story.
They do. They do explain the story as they go in some ways. And also the musicality, like the music itself is really well done. The lyrics are great. Some of the lyrics are puns. And they also do a good job of exploring the emotional depth of some of the characters. Some of the characters have almost no emotional depth. By that, I'm referring to Captain Hammer, who is played by the wonderful Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion plays the idiot superhero so well, and it's amazing. Because Captain Hammer, he's got super strength and super endurance. So he's super tough and super strong. And he is not very smart.
Yeah, you can already tell from his name, he's not like a great, like, over-the-top superhero in like terms of branding or presenting himself. He's kind of a dunce. Like, legitimately, his superhero outfit is like some pants, some boots, some gloves, and a t-shirt with a small yellow circle with what looks like a clip art hammer on it.
Yeah, and the pants are kind of like what you see like UPS, the brown. What UPS delivery people would wear.
Yeah, they're kind of cargo-esque pants, but dark gray.
Yeah. And he is kind of awesome.
And kind of a dick. It's great. I love him.
Honestly, and I know it's probably because we're watching the story from Billy's point of view, Dr. Horrible's point of view, but Captain Hammer feels like more of a villain than Dr. Horrible.
Yeah, which isn't even just like, I believe, the framing of Billy. Like, when we see Dr. Horrible just talking, he's a narcissist.
Not only that, but he actually has, like, what Dr. Horrible wants to accomplish through villainy is make the world a better place. I mean, he wants to be the singular entity in charge, but honestly, I think, and this is my personal, like, philosophical viewpoint, I think the best way for a world, like, of billions of people to live in a manner that actually benefits everybody is to have a singular ruling entity.
Who actually cares about the
people, like...
Yeah.
And he does care, like... He wants to use his villainy to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
I mean,
we see him object to some things that would cause problems for, like, children and such.
Yeah. He's also an anarchist, though, so...
Yeah.
And he does murder somebody.
We see him deal with the moral quandary of having to kill someone because he doesn't want to initially.
Yeah.
That's a situation brought about by some...
Well, like you said, he doesn't even want to put children in the risk of getting harmed.
Yeah. Like, when we start, he's planning a heist to get some stuff for an attempt at another crime.
Wonderflonium, right?
Yes, Wonderflonium.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
Yeah. That way he can do a actual plan.
So he can build his freeze ray.
Yes. In an attempt to...
Which is also definitely not a spoiler.
Yeah. In an attempt to impress the Evil League of Evil, so they will accept him.
Yep.
And this one's a tiny bit of a spoiler. So skip, like, a minute if you don't want to hear it now. Because the first plan fails, so he has to kill someone the second time because that's what Bad Horse requests.
And Bad Horse, again, is the leader of the Evil League of Evil.
And it's the thoroughbred of sin.
So, it's not like he wants to kill somebody. He's put in a circumstance where he has to do it in order for his dreams to be accomplished. Which is part of it why I think this series is so captivating, because this is another spoiler. So, honestly, at this point, we spoil stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear us spoil it,
and
go watch it first and come back.
I'm not
going to
lie. The plot of this is not super complex.
So, like...
You're here, if you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it for the music and the amusement of it.
I don't know. I really enjoy the story.
No, the story is good. I'm just saying, like, the story is not mind-boggling and all over the place. It's kind of straightforward.
That's fair. But, like, I think that's part of why the series is so good, right? Like...
Yes.
Because the thing he wants most is to be a member of the Evil League of Evil. Like, that's his career aspiration. Like,
he wants to do something great, like Bad Horse. He wants to be an achiever, like Bad Horse.
And in order to do that, he has to sacrifice everything he wants in his personal life.
Yes.
Again, spoilers. He has a crush on this girl, played by Felicia Day.
Who ends up going out with the Captain Hammer.
And it ends up being a casualty of the final fight.
Yes.
And that's how he gets accepted into the Evil League of Evil. Like, he inadvertently kills her. And... so he gets his professional dreams at the cost of his personal ones.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the overarching, like, deeper story here.
Oh, yeah.
What does it cost to succeed
in a professional manner in life? Like, what are we giving up as people to achieve something that we believe is going to put us in a better station and help us fulfill our dreams? But what are we giving up along the way that can actually make us happy?
And, like, the first thing he gives up is even, like, the opportunity to talk to her
in person. Because when they first meet, he's busy doing heist number 1.
To steal the Wonderflonium. And
he runs into her on the street. And he has to, like... He's so busy with that he literally asks himself, why did she talk to me now?
In addition to that, by putting his career ahead of his personal life, he introduces her to...
Captain Hammer.
Captain Hammer, who becomes her boyfriend. Like, at this point, I've just said...
Fuck spoilers?
We're going to spoil it.
Yeah,
like,
okay, cool.
That's what our show is. We're going to spoil it. And that's, I think, a really compelling story for most people, especially in, like, America, where we have this massive dichotomy between working life and home life.
Yeah.
And
we're expected to be able to have both.
Yeah, we're expected to have both, and we're expected to balance both.
And that is extremely hard to do for a lot of people.
And I think that's what the story is, right? It's the story of trying to balance both. And we get glimpses of his life as Billy trying to be friends with Penny, Felicia Day's character, but at the same time...
And then we see how his work life legitimately straight up gets in the way of that. Captain Hammer shows up at the laundromat, and Captain Hammer recognizes him as Dr. Horrible and calls him out on it. Not to everyone, just to him, and tells him that he's basically going to ruin his normal life because he can. He's not going to turn in Dr. Horrible. He's not going to stop him from doing anything. He's just going to torment him and torture him by ruining his actual life.
Which brings me back to the fact that I think Captain Hammer is more of a villain than Dr. Horrible. And again, we are from Dr. Horrible's point of view, but like if Captain Hammer actually knows who Dr. Horrible is and not taking any action to prevent him from committing future crimes, he's kind of Batmaning, right? Where like
no, definitely. And like when we first see him, very shortly after his introduction, we see him flirting with someone, and then when he saves Penny, he's flirting with her. And he's basically using his whole "I'm a hero" thing to get laid.
Yeah, and like
we know very shortly from that, like he has no intentions of actually staying with Penny, really, until he finds out that Dr. Horrible likes her.
And beyond that, he has a specific line in one of the songs where he's like, "I just might sleep with the same girl twice," talking about Penny.
Yeah.
Which implies that he's a womanizer, right? Like,
yeah, it does.
He's so busy sleeping with a myriad.
And then his entire song, "Everybody is a Hero." It's horrible. It's great, but it's horrible, and I'm not going to quote lyrics from it and stuff. Just listen to it. He is a horrible person.
I do want to actually mention, though, the entire movie is set in a fictional version of Los Angeles.
Yes.
So it is set in a pretty, like, realistic setting. It's one that people, not myself,
but some people can relate to,
are intimately familiar with, too.
Yeah.
It's not like it's set in some fictional city like Gotham, which is super dark and gritty and always, like,
always cloudy, and I'm pretty sure that's because of smog. Like, it makes no other sense. Gotham has to be just covered in the deepest, darkest smog. Like, I'm pretty sure Gotham has found a way to make people think their gasoline is gas, and it's actually just liquefied coal. And it's the only thing that explains the darkness of those clouds, because smog is not that black.
Yeah, so I just want to say, we actually love Batman.
Batman's great.
I mean, I haven't read a lot of the more recent comics.
Red X and Red Hood are better, but Batman's all right.
But, like, Batman is typically one of the best-selling comics for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's good.
I mean, he's like number 4 of my Justice League tops.
I've always been a Flash fan. Like, always.
Yeah, no. My number 1 is The Flash. Then we go with John Jones, a.k.a. Martian Manhunter. Then Hal Jordan. Not Hal Jordan. He's the worst, actually. I wanted to say Green Lantern. And then clarify by that, I mean John Stewart Green Lantern, because John Stewart Green Lantern is dope.
What, not Kyle Renner?
Oh, God, no one likes Kyle Renner. And then it's torn between Batman and the Green Arrow at number 4.
See,
I think Green Arrow edges him out most of the time, but then Batman has, like, these really good stories.
See, I really like Batman, but I really love Flash. And, I mean, how could you not?
Wait. I forgot one of the other best Justice League characters, Cyborg.
But depending on which version...
It's really good or really bad, Cyborg.
I'm also a huge simp for Aquaman. Like, I'm there for him.
Oh, that's true, man, with the fucking water hand. I think we've diverged quite a bit. Sorry, guys.
I mean...
LA, smog.
It's not that big of a divergence, right? Because this is directed, produced, and written by Joss Whedon.
True.
And Joss Whedon...
He did take over the Justice League movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Snyder was removed.
it's not that big of a divergence. It's right there.
You know what? That brings me to a very good question. Why wasn't Joss Whedon's version of the Justice League a musical?
Look.
Is it because he came in too late?
100%. But look, every time Joss Whedon gets freed up, like when he was freed up from Marvel.
Every time I want a sequel to
or
this.
Or like when Neil Patrick Harris was freed up because...
How I Met Your Mother ended.
Or when Nathan Fillion was freed up because Castle ended. Or when Felicia Day is freed up because... What is she? She runs Geek and Sundry. So yeah. I don't know if she's ever like...
Super free. But free enough, right?
I mean, she's dead, so unless they're bringing her back to life...
Or flashbacks or whatever.
Then we don't really need her.
Yeah.
But like every time one of those actors or Joss Whedon suddenly like ends a long-term engagement, I'm always sitting over here with my fingers crossed. Like,
yeah, like don't get me wrong,
because
I love Firefly, and like I don't really want any more.
They've
but,
all,
like, a
they've
Firefly
all aged
sequel
too much now.
But like a Firefly sequel a few years back, like maybe 5 or 6, I would have been down for that, no problem. But they've all aged so much that it doesn't feel like you could do it continuously, and we'd have a giant gap of here's this really important stuff, and then we're jumping like. It has to be years in the future for quite a few of these people for it to make sense. So it'd be really hard to like fill in that gap well.
I think the best way, and like they all still have group chats and talk. Like
yeah,
I can't remember her name right now. She plays the consort on Fire.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
but she just was talking the other day, and they still have like group messages where they all like talk and hang out and chat because they all still really enjoy each other's company, and that gives me hope that eventually we might get some type of Firefly follow-up.
Yeah.
But I feel like the only way to do that is to canonize Serenity.
Yeah.
Which means Alan Tudyk isn't going to be in it. And then to...
I mean, unless we play the whole Serenity thing as like a weird, fucked up hallucination dream because of the sound stuff that makes people into reavers, that drives people crazy and puts other people to sleep.
That's a bad idea.
It is. I realize. But I want me my Alan Tudyk. I love Alan Tudyk.
But I'm always praying for like a Dr. Horrible 2.
Yes.
Because... Joss, at least, has said multiple times that it's something he's interested in doing.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in them doing it.
Yes. And because we're not working with a lot of people for our cast here, it can be however long we want it to. Like, we can push 15 years in the fucking future and have Dr. Horrible as an established member of the League of Evil.
Maybe even the new head of the Evil League of Evil.
Yeah. And Captain Hammer, well, he's a bit out of commission at the end of this. And so, like, who knows how long it's taking him to get back into it.
Yeah. I would really like to see... Dr. Horrible dealing with the sacrifice of his personal life for his, like...
Yeah.
Because...
Like, the only person I don't think you're going to be able to get back too easily, maybe, would be...
Simon Helberg? Yeah.
That's because he's making massive money on Big Bang Theory at the moment.
Is Big Bang Theory still going?
I think it's still going. I don't know. I don't watch the show. Because if you're like me, and you like nerdy things, people have told you remind you of insert character here from that show. And then that show would be perfect for you. And then you've watched some of it. And you realize, oh, a lot of this is just a massive stereotype of what people believe nerds are. And I don't know, I just really enjoy everything from the music to the story to the actors.
NPH has an amazing singing voice.
Yes, that's been known to so many people for so long, but it's fantastic. And also...
They use it very well in the show.
Yes, and also, I think from the Golden Globes, maybe, they actually had a small Dr. Horrible takes over thing.
Yes, I remember this.
Yes.
Yeah. So that like drummed up my hype even more because that was years after Dr. Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Horrible's from 2008.
Yes. But there's that. So, one, if you watch this, you can go watch more NPH stuff, and NPH is great. I don't know how easily it is to find on the internet, but you can probably find it. It's the internet, after all. You've somehow made your way to this obscure podcast, so you could probably find that.
It was the Emmys, not the Golden Globes. And actually, it wasn't that long after. Wait, no, hold on.
10?
It looks like 2009. Yeah, September 20th, 2009. So a year after Dr. Horrible came out.
Either way, though, that itself is fantastic. So it's pretty great.
So I just Googled Dr. Horrible Golden Globes.
Yes.
Trying to find that. But I couldn't. What I did find was a 2012 article where Neil Patrick Harris said that he was down to do a sequel.
Oh, yeah. I know he's said it. I'm pretty sure Nathan Fillion said it.
And Joss has said it. Yeah.
It's just they never all seem to be available at the same time. And also I can understand it at this point. It's for the people that really love it, it's definitely hyped up and it'd be hard to live up to expectations.
Yeah, it definitely has that issue, right?
It's got the Whovian issue.
It's definitely got a massive cult following.
Yeah.
And that makes it hard to like do anything with going forward because anything you do is just not going to be good enough for some segment of fans.
Yeah, because it changes the context of the original and makes the original bad now.
Almost like Korra.
I was going to say almost like the prequels.
That's a better example and will get me in less trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, more like the prequels.
There you go.
Star Wars prequels.
Obviously.
You know, episode 1, 2...
Or even more exactly, the digital remaster of the original trilogy.
Look, I don't even know if the prequels are the issue. It's just midichlorians, right?
Yeah.
And Jar Jar Binks. Those are the things people have issues with.
I mean, yeah, for the most part. And, I mean, the slog that is the second movie, even though I love it.
This might be a crazy take, but Attack of the Clones is my favorite prequel.
Is that the third one?
That's the second one.
Yeah. Second one's dope, man. We get a lot of world building. I love world building.
Revenge of the Sith is the third one.
You act like I know the names of the prequels. There's the bad one, the slightly better one, and the not as good as the second, but definitely better than the first one.
Those are called Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith.
That doesn't make sense. I think you have their names wrong.
I don't.
You definitely do.
No, the Star Wars trilogy that I don't know the names of is the new trilogy. It's something like
don't even try
Force
it. It's
Awakens, Episode 8, Last Jedi. What's Episode 8's title? Jesus.
Rogue One? No, Rogue One is a standalone.
There's so much Star Wars. And it doesn't help that I spent most of my day-to-day listening to a Star Wars Expanded Universe podcast.
Yeah, that's great. But, so we've diverged quite a bit from where we were originally. And normally return flights aren't going to be this massive turning into the cockpits at the end.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is only a 40-minute show.
So we have some room to fill, and also, this was only a 40-minute show, so we could literally read the script verbatim and still be pretty fine on where we put this time in at.
If we did an intro, an outro, and read the script, we'd probably clock in at 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, we talk fast, so we might actually end
up... but we also have to describe what's happening on the screen.
Fair. So...
Because we're not just reading dialogue, we're reading the script, so script directions.
So like I said at the top of this, when we're doing return flights, it's probably something we like because we watched all of it.
Or at least it's something we both liked because I've watched a lot of horrible things all the way through because I got issues.
I had an idea for something we could return flight, but it's technically not a show. It's a singular movie. It's only 45 minute long. I don't want to talk about it or do it. I really wanted to do a return flight more as a warning to people than to a suggestion, but I know people would go watch it then.
I mean, that could always be bonus content if we ever do bonus content stuff.
The internet's a weird place. You tell people not to do something, and they immediately go do it.
Yeah, that's true. I know I've done that a lot, but then we listen to people suffer with us, and I do like to make others suffer.
Yes, I do. Anyways, real quick, wind it back to Dr. Horrible.
Great show. Watch it, listen to it, consume it.
I mean, I actually wanted to say something about it.
I mean, okay, fine, say something.
There's this song. I think the title is Brand New Day.
Brand New Day, yes.
Brand New Day.
The juxtaposition between the two parts is fantastic.
It's the singular best song in the movie.
It is split lines between NPH and Felicia Day.
And it's not just split, they're singing at the same time for some of it.
Yeah.
And they're singing different lyrics and but it's set to the same melody, but NPH's is much darker.
Yes.
And
the melody has a way of being tonally upbeat and also depressing at the same time.
It's so good. But my favorite part of that song is the scene where NPH hops in this chair. And initially nothing looks weird about it. He just hops into the chair and it's from an angle that's distinct enough to make it where you can't tell anything's out of place really.
Yeah.
But when it pans back around to the front and shows him sitting in the chair, this chair could fit 4 NPHs.
I don't think that one's Brand New Day.
Oh no, that's I know where the song takes place in the movie now.
Yeah.
It's not Brand New Day. It's the one after Captain Horrible.
Captain Horrible and Dr. Hammer.
It's the one after Captain Hammer essentially tells Dr. Horrible, I know who you are, but I'm not going to turn you in or do anything to stop you.
Yes.
I'm just going to ruin your life by banging the girl of your dreams. But it's the song after that, right? It's
No, it might be Brand New Day. I'm singing it in my head. It's a song.
It's not Brand New Day because Felicia Day has no lines in the song.
Oh, yeah. It just uses Brand New Day as a lyric once or twice in it.
Yeah. Don't remember the name of it. That's upsetting to me because I do really like the series.
So I think that's actually it for this return flight / in the cockpit because it has definitely become that.
Yeah, we've rambled a little bit here.
I mean, that's fine. I assure you most return flights in the future will be much more structured around the actual show, but like we said, this was just we wanted to talk about Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
We also kind of had to cram it in at the last minute because somebody's going on a house-sitting mission.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel comfortable trying to record from 2 locations.
Oh, no, that would be absolutely impossible.
Mm-hmm.
For us, at least.
With our setup, that would be very difficult.
I mean, we have ways we could do it, but we would expect audio quality to drop, and we don't want to do that. As far as the return flight-ish part of this goes, Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. Josh, final opinion on it?
I mean, I think I've been pretty clear. I
said
love
final opinion.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I just had to stop and think for a second. But
reaffirm your love.
See,
renew those vows with Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
I can't say I love everything NPH has been in.
No.
That's not true for me. I can, though, 100% say everything I've seen Nathan Fillion in, I love.
Yeah, I can say that as well.
And Felicia Day, I mean, only thing I've actually seen her in other than this is...
The Guild?
The Guild, and as a reoccurring guest on Tabletop.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I love Tabletop, not necessarily because Felicia was on it, but because Tabletop was the best YouTube series of all time. Bar none. Fight me.
I mean, I'm not going to. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I'm not going to fight you about it. It's a
And
pretty strong opinion.
And then The Guild was a pretty decent, like, nerd style.
I mean, I
web
prefer
series.
top decking, but okay.
Top decking's not better than Tabletop.
No, I was just saying I prefer top decking over The Guild.
No, 100%.
As for me, I'd have to agree. I love Dr. Horrible. His music is good and extremely catchy as well. The lyrics are fun. The comedy isn't... It's not, like, the best comedy ever, but it is good comedy. And I think it all works really well overall. And yeah, we don't have, like, a massive cast, but the cast that we do have is strong and does really well.
I think why the comedy is strong, even if it's not the best...
Is because it's delivery and the way it's done?
It's because of delivery, yeah.
Yeah, it's the actors.
Nathan Fillion and PH can just deliver anything you give them.
Yeah,
like
it's fantastic. So yeah, Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, absolutely amazing. You should definitely check it out.
So
that weird episode we've done here.
We're getting ready to touch back down at the airport, pick up our next flight.
Yeah, so we've brought you back to where you belong, and why the hell are you in the cockpit? Get out.
So
you're not supposed to be up here.
You're definitely...
I don't know who left this door unlocked, but you should not have heard any of this part.
I mean, I left the door unlocked because it's faster when I have to go to the bathroom.
You're an idiot.
How else am I supposed to order alcoholic beverages while flying?
Why are you drinking? We're the ones flying this plane.
There's autopilot for a reason.
The autopilot has been out since last March.
We haven't even been...
Is that why we dropped like 1,000 feet when I had to go to the bathroom?
We haven't even been flying since last March.
I know. It was broken before we got it. I got a good steal on this. Like, I stole this. This was not expensive.
But yeah, that's probably why we... I wasn't having a screwdriver in the cockpit, I promise.
Was it just outside the door?
I mean, technically, I was halfway in the room.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, no, you definitely have to leave now. You heard nothing. Thank you guys for flying with us.
If you want to contact us, we have an email address, copilotsreview@gmail.com. We have a website, copilotsreview.simplecast.com. We have a Twitter handle, @copilotsreview. We have a Discord. I don't know how to say that link out loud, so it's in the show notes.
Yeah, so if you need to contact anyone about possible concerns that may have occurred on this flight, feel free to contact us directly. We don't need to get anyone else involved.
Please don't go to management.
Yeah, please don't. No need to get anyone else involved. Have a great day, and please come back and fly again.
See you on the next flight, guys.